This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping a foot on the wood on the Neeks. We keeping a foot on the wood on the Neeks. And like the Tibetan Mastiff that I am, man. Like the Siberian Tiger that I am, I'm applying wood unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? It bursts his pipes. Let's talk about it. Alright. They said the Los Angeles Fakers basically didn't do the Brooklyn Nets route. They said that Kevin Durant went to the biggest superstar team the NBA has ever seen. Let me give you guys a rundown of Lefraud James, and I want you guys to understand why you can't put Kevin Durant and Lefraud James in the same book. Let me explain something, because I have to break this down in a very encyclopedia fashion. So hear me, and hear me motherfucking well. First and foremost, let's run it up. When we look at Kevin Durant, we have to ask ourselves a big picture issue here. And what is that? Okay, first things first. Kevin Durant only went and played with the Golden State Warriors because everybody on the Warriors squad begged for him. That year, in 2016 free agency, Kevin Durant had all of the opportunities to play with so many other teams. The Golden State Warriors, if you guys want to understand, this is for the real G's, the super real G's, and the ultimate real G's out here in these NBA streets. We're not talking about Rudy Poo and Plum Plum brains. We're not talking about classic dolts and troglodytes. We're not talking about ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetorics. We're talking about people that really have the true basketball eye test. Kevin Durant could have went and played with the Miami Heat. Kevin Durant could have went and re-signed with Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Durant could have went and played with the Los Angeles Clippers. They were begging for his services. Kevin Durant had Lefraud James at that time trying to basically stack the Lecards to Ledeck and ask for Kevin Durant to play with him. Do I need to keep on going so you guys can get how this thing ended up the way it did? Kevin Durant could have went and basically took himself to Washington, D.C. and played for the Wizards. He had options. Even Golden State Warriors were knocking down his door before all of these teams were knocking down his door. They were basically tampering. Started with Draymond Green, elevated with Klay Thompson, double elevated with Bob Myers. Should have been fine, but you know they aren't going to find the white guy. Joe Lacob, all these guys. Basically fraternizing with Kevin Durant after the 3-1 debacle, after they went up 3-1 and then they turned around and lost that series. Joe Lacob wanted to invite Kevin Durant to his house so that Kevin Durant could turn around and Kevin Durant could eat dinner at his home. And then we had Stephen Curry. That's who Kevin Durant was waiting for in order for him to join with the team. Stephen Curry said, I don't care if I'm option 1 or option 2. I just want to win NBA championships. And that was after the year they got done up. Basically, LeBron James put tombstones. He put caskets out there to say that the Golden State Warriors were going to get Ramalang in 2017. And then Kevin Durant showed up, and then 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018, and it was murder she fucking wrote. Back-to-back finals MVPs. The guy proved to you when you get to a team like that, you're supposed to automatically win. Just like what happened with the Boston Celtics. Lefraud James got with Dwayne Wade. At that time, Dwayne Wade was a top 3 basketball player. It was Kobe Bryant that was number 1, Dwayne Wade was number 2, and LeBron James was number 3. The reason for that, LeBron James didn't win shit. KB had a couple of rings at that point. Dwayne Wade just freshly came off of a 06 title. And then the onslaught that he did in 08, and he was a scoring champion in fucking 09. Do I need to keep on going? Or y'all listen, or y'all want to listen or fucking pay attention? And then he got with Chris Bosh, a top 10 player. Till this day, not even the Golden State Warriors, you can compare that debacle with the Miami Heat. Klay Thompson wasn't no fucking top 10. He was a top 20 basketball player. Stephen Curry was not no fucking top 3. He was probably top fucking 10. Dwayne Wade was top 3. Chris Bosh was top 10. This is what Kevin Durant played with. And don't get me started on Draymond Green. Draymond Green is nowhere near any of those guys. And on top of that, LeBron James felt Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh after a while wasn't enough. He turned around and added injury to insult. And he got Ray Allen from the Boston Celtics. The Celtics players was feeling some type of way about that. And that's not Lestacking the Lecards or the Ledeck. Then he leaves there. He goes to the Leland. And then he teams up with Kyrie Irving. He teams up with fucking Kevin Love. And he has Tristan Thompson. Doesn't that ring a bell to you? Doesn't that sound like a team that is built to try to go up against the Golden State Warriors, let's match them. LeBron James with Kevin Durant, but we know Kevin Durant's better. Tristan Thompson with Draymond Green. They cancel each other fucking out. And there's moments where Tristan Thompson's better than Draymond Green. And don't get me started, Kyrie Irving and Stephen Curry. Kyrie Irving is better than Stephen Curry. So was the Cleveland Cavaliers really at a deficit? Or was that a super fucking team? Now let's fast forward. Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James gets Anthony Davis. A guy who's a high-octane Chris Bosh. And look at the team he has now. But y'all say LeBron James never was with a super team. He got Russell Westbrook, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza. All of these guys are old geezers now. And it's not like the Fakers are going to be able to do shit because they're dealing with nothing but old-ass fucking players. But all of these guys were all-stars. This is what LeBron James is doing. This is the Lestacking of the Lecards of the Ledeck. But y'all sit here and tell me that LeBron James ain't never got no super team. Go look at his squad. Go look at his starting five. These are all guys that dominated in the respective NBA at some point. Russell Westbrook of Russville with triple doubles. Got an MVP. Carmelo Anthony was a leading cog for many years with the Denver Nuggets, New York Knicks. This is what Lestacking of the Lecards of the Ledecks look like, because he knows where Brooklyn is where Brooklyn is at. And Brooklyn's finest is here to dominate this guy, to castrate this guy, and to show this guy they're not playing games with him. But when it's all said and done, this is what Lefraud James is doing. Of course, the Fakers are not going to work because Russell Westbrook of Russville needs the ball in his hands for him to be effective. But Lefraud James also needs the ball in his hands to be effective. And there can only be so many basketballs to go around. Carmelo Anthony is a ball stopper. He's an isolation player. He has to play with the ball in his hands for him to be effective. He's a rhythm shooter. Dwight Howard, big goof fucking true. They're all old geezers at this point. Marc Gasol. This ain't no Marc Gasol who was like in his early 30s. This ain't no Marc Gasol who was in his late 20s. This is a Marc Gasol that's way past his prime. This is a Marc Gasol that's way past everything that you could fucking think of. But they're telling you that the Fakers are going to win. And I'm going to talk about Lefraud James and his movie flopping. Because I told you guys this. And a prediction, King Striker. And a prediction, King Striker. Notice everybody keeps coming back and saying he knows everything, man. You've been saying this from the beginning. I told you guys Mello, Snake, was trying to find his rabbit ass with the Banana Boat crew leader in Lefraud James. I did not tell you guys this stuff? Nostradamus, Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, 7 steps ahead of the game, 48 laws of power on that ass. I told you he was going to do this. He was going to screw over Portland Trailblazers. And Damian Lillard tried to chalk it up as if he's happy about it. No, he's not. They should have kept Melo blacklisted. They should have kept his rabbit ass up out of the NBA. He didn't deserve another lifeline because I knew he was going to do this bullshit and fuck shit. When it's all said and done, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. But it's the most realistic thing. It's the most reality thing. It's the most, what we would say, quintessential thing when it's all said and done, and that's associated with the Fakers. LeBron James knows he's on his last fucking leg. Father Time has caught up to this rabbit motherfucker, or this rabbit motherfucker. And he's going to get exposed. The worst thing that could have ever happened, because that's why I told you guys, and I liken what happened to Kevin Durant. Now you guys are starting to put two and two together with Kobe Bean Bryant. They lost, and then they ran their ass to the Olympics. You know why they did that? It's so that they can stay within elite competition. Because the Olympics is fundamentals basketball 101, dog. You can't come in there showboating in the Olympics. You got to play fundamental basketball at the highest levels. You got to play execution basketball at the highest levels. You got to play simplified basketball at the highest levels to put the ball on the floor in order for you to execute, and in order for you to dominate, and in order for you to stand out. If you don't do this, you're going to be exposed. If you don't do this, you're going to get done the fuck up. And then the fact that Kevin Durant used this to get his legs back. Because Kevin Durant knows he's the ultimate gamut. He's the over-the-top player. And when he has all of his faculties together, nobody can see him on the basketball court. That's what happened in the Milwaukee Bucks series. He didn't have his legs under him. He was tiring out because this guy didn't get enough basketball in him. Now, I know a lot of LeBron tards are going to look at this and they're going to say, hey, he knows everything. That's an excuse. No, it's not. It's not a fucking excuse. It's reality. Because the reality is as simple as this, that in basketball, you need your legs up under you. There's two sports that you need your legs up under you. And that's basketball and fucking boxing. You need your fucking legs up under you. Football too. I'll say 3 fucking sports. You need your legs up under you. And in basketball, if you don't have your legs up under you, how can you be able to do greatness? Personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped in the postseason. You need that. It's your caveat. It's your identity. It's your finality. It's your flawless fucking victory. When it's all said and done, Kevin Durant is now back to his mastered ultra instinct form. But in this instance, it's not timed. It's infinite. Kyrie Irving's going to come back 1,000%. James Harden's going to come back 1,000%. And last time we checked, LaMarcus Aldridge is coming back. We've seen this before with Jeff Green. Jeff Green had a heart problem, but he was able to maintain it. He was able to get everything situated, and he was able to come back. And when he came back stronger than ever. So we believe this with LaMarcus Aldridge. And they got Blake Griffin. See, they just tried to copy where Brooklyn at, where Brooklyn at, where Brooklyn at, where Brooklyn at. But when Biggie said it, he didn't ask a question. He made a fucking emphatic statement. They tried to copy the Brooklyn Nets, but they look like the reject old geezers variation. Let me say it again. They look like the reject old geezers variation. When it's all said and done, the Los Angeles Fakers are going to get exposed. Lefraud James is going to get exposed. Everything about them is going to get exposed. They're going to get la done the la fuck up. And they're going to get la screwed la fuck up. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat true teller fashion. It doesn't matter what team they put together. These guys are old geezers. They're over the hill. This is the oldest team in fucking basketball. And what you guys don't understand, basketball is a young man's sport. When it comes to legs, when it comes to youth, when it comes to vitality. And with LeBron James having a team that's averaging 38 and a half years old, it's a things that make you say, And we got to contextualize it. It's a la things that make you say, But in its most cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat true teller fashion, it's as simple as this. You Lefraud James, fanatics, you LeBron tard, alerts. I don't want to hear it. Because look what he just did. Look at the team. Look at the background. If this is not Lestacking the Lecards or the Ledeck, I don't know what the fuck it is. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat true teller fashion. This is how LeBron James, Lefraud James, the LaFrozen one responds when he gets La first rounded. He goes and stack the Lecards or the Ledeck. But in this instance, the reason why it's not going to la work is because he has la old geezers that's behind him. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat true teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the Neeks. I keeps the foot on the Neeks. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.